Hello, welcome to the Diaspora panel, the voice of the diaspora. And by the way, we are an anti-terrorism group. We are against any form of terrorism. That's what we stand for. And I have with me in the house, Mr. Lalawal from Canada. Mr. Lawal, you are welcome.
Thank you for having me, and good day to our viewers.
I have Mr. Ademola Disa from the UK. Mr. Disa, you are welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I have Mr. Olaitondedigba all the way from United States of America. You are welcome.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
A big thank you to all our new subscribers. Thank you for joining the Diaspora family. And for all those who have been commenting and giving us advices, we want to say a big thank you. We are listening to your advices, and please keep commenting. And if you're one of our viewers who have not yet subscribed, please click that button so that anytime we do any video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. Please share our video so that much more people will be able to benefit from it. So today, we are going to talk about more terror sponsors that have been exposed. More terror sponsors have been exposed. And we learned in the last few days, about a retired Nigerian Army General. His name is Alli Keffi, who once commanded 1st Division and served as a GOC, that's General Office Commander in the Nigerian Army. And he has been mentioning names of some politicians and some army generals of Fulani extraction as masterminds of terrorism in Nigeria, that they were sponsoring terrorists or bandits. The names mentioned include a former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and 2 former Chief of Army Staffs, General Farouk, Yahaya, and General Buratai. So, although they have come out to say they are not linked to terrorism, blah, 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 but this is still under investigation. According to General Alli Keffi, he said that he arrested several high-profile suspects, that is, terrorism suspects, in March 2021, to be precise. The arrests were based on detailed financial intelligence that tracked flows of money linked to terrorism financing. He then said shortly after he arrested these high-profile people. In fact, the very next month, he was suddenly summoned to the headquarters of military police. On October 8, 2021, he presented himself only to be detained for several hours after extensive interrogation. He was then held for a total of 64 days. He was never charged for anything, never queried, and never tried by any military or civil court before being compulsorily retired from the army. Till today, he said, I don't know my offense, adding that his arrest was a coordinated attempt to halt the terrorism financing probe. According to him, two suspects arrested by the organization that he headed, that we know that the 2 of the suspects were linked to former Army Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai. Also, 2 other suspects were linked to former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, while 1 suspect was linked to a former Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele. So, the questions I have here is just many. I'm going to start with you, Shupo. I'm going to start with you since you're the first person in the studio. If you have an army chief in government, and you also have the same government, an Attorney General of the Federation in the same government, having or doing business with money launderers or those who are connected with banditry or terrorism, will that be enough to essentially call that government a terrorist government?
Very well. It is unfortunate, first and foremost, that people with such questionable character can actually make it to such offices. I think it is very clear that there is a breakdown in the whole process of nomination. You will expect that people in these offices will, first and foremost, upon being nominated, will go through an appropriate security clearance process where all of these things will be determined. Whether it was done or whether it was actually done, these red flags came up, but nobody took any action. We're yet to determine. But I mean, if you have the Attorney General of the Federation being involved in such questionable activities, I think, there goes justice, for the entire country. It is unfortunate. I know that Nigeria has an Auditor General. I think it is time that we begin to look, for example, at legislative processes that will give the opposition parties, some leverage in conducting some of these types of audits to ensure that, nomination processes, security clearance, or any kinds of situations where there are alleged issues with public officials are thoroughly investigated, and if they are found to be complicit, then the appropriate action needs to be taken. But if you have the Chief of Army Staff and the Attorney General, that pretty much tells you that that government is compromised.
Thank you very much. So, Demola, I'm going to ask you the same question. If you have an Attorney General of the Federation in the government and a Chief of Army, and I'm sure there will be many other people. I know in that government there are mentioning of names of Ali Pantami, which I think was the Minister for Communication or something, and there are a few other people in that government that were being. There are whispers around them that they were supporting bandits and terrorists and all that. So, do you think that 8 years of Buhari rule was a terrorist rule? Will you say so?
Actually, that 8 years of government have turned out to be a great enabler of terrorism in Nigeria. We find out right from at the time that it was that time that banditry and kidnapping strive as well as religious persecution strive highest in Nigeria. And it baffled everybody because it was a great disappointment to Nigerians. President Buhari, being a general and a former head of state in Nigeria, people expect that there will be sanity. It was a great disappointment to Nigerians. We expect a lot from him, and with the caliber, the mixed caliber of people that he appointed, especially to sensitive positions in the name of ethnic coloration rather than national interest, has really made the whole thing, the issue of terrorism a serious issue in Nigeria. If you notice, if people like this that are sponsoring and encouraging terrorism can be holding a chief of army staff, and you find them as a minister or as attorney general, the legal department. So when you have people that are supposed to take people to account legally being sponsored, and people that are supposed to fight terrorism being the chief of army staff, what else do you think about that government? That government, without anybody saying anything, have all those demonstration or definition of a terrorist government. Because if and terrorism escalate to a level unprecedented. Yes, things were bad at Jonathan's level, and it laid the foundation of all this kidnapping and the Bocos, the girls that were that were kidnapped and never returned. But instead, everybody hoped that Buhari government, being a military man, we use military fiat and influence and authority. But it seemed President Buhari was just sleeping on duty and allow his subordinate to be doing anything they want, and it doesn't have control over them.
Thank you, Demola. Lighton,
Yeah.
if you look at all these names,
Yep.
like you have mentioned, they are from the north and from the Fulani extraction. Buhari himself is a Fulani man. Malami is Fulani. So, will anybody now trust any Fulani man with power in Nigeria? Should we trust them again to get to power in Nigeria?
Sometimes a year or two back now, we mentioned about how Fulani, they were invading Nigeria. We talk about the Fulani agenda, the Fulanization of Nigeria and Islamization of Nigeria. You know, these people, they know what they are doing. And Buhari being their man, everybody, they are, whatever Buhari wanted, that was what they were doing, right? They put this guy from Kano State, the mind NNPP, like what that is it? I forgot his name now. The name will still come to my head. I will mention it. He said they brought out Buhari to checkmate Obasanjo,
Galadima.
right? So, Galadima, yes, it was Galadima. Buba Galadima. They brought out Buhari to checkmated Obasanjo, and eventually they got it right, and they were doing it. They said, Sunday Igboho, Sunday Igboho has been growing wings, and Obasanjo was not ready to tame him, and so he was coming to Ilorin. So they are Ilorin. They regarded him. I mean, they regarded Ilorin as their. They have a sovereignty up to Ilorin. So that is why they came to. They said they came to recognition that at this time around to checkmate Obasanjo. To checkmate Obasanjo, they have to make sure they bring out another Fulani, so we do their bidding. And the bidding of the Fulani is to make sure that they introduce their Sharia. So not long ago, they brought out Sonny Yerima, introduced Sharia, right? And Obasanjo could not say anything, right? All the states in the northern state, they were introducing Sharia, and nobody said anything. And after Sharia, they now introduced banditry. So it became worse under Buhari, that Buhari was financing them. Buhari was financing banditry and killing everywhere. In Benue, the governor had to go to Buhari. I told Buhari, this is what is going on in my state, right? It took that in Benue, in Plateau, in all these places, they will kill their people, they will kill all the indigenous people, and they will inhabit their lands. And all the indigenous people, they will go to the. So, as a matter of fact, like your question, Fulani should not be trusted again in Nigeria. To be at the end of affairs in Nigeria, directing us. Their intention, they will cement everything finally, and they will, because that is what will happen, and they will make use of our leaders in the southwest, in the south, in the south, in the southeast. That is what they will do. Right?
Thank you.
So to drive home their agenda. So as a result, I'm saying it without equivocation. No Fulani must be the head of state in Nigeria again. Please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lighton. Shupo. So we know since about 2 weeks ago that Malami has been under probe by EFCC for some missing funds during his time as AGF. But even before this revelation that he is doing business with some bureau de change that are linked to terrorism. And out of the blue, I'm reading in the newspaper that Malami is, getting ready to present himself as to contest for governorship in Kebbi State. Is this the kind of people, the kind of person who should be putting themselves in front of us that they want to be leaders, they want to be governors? Super.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is the unfortunate thing that happens in Nigeria, where people who have links to bandits and terrorists, people who embezzle public funds, are the only ones that present themselves, or so to speak, for public office. When you have a country where the rogues and the bandit financiers are the ones that are leading, then it is not too far-fetched when what you now see happening, basically killing fields in Nigeria, is what exactly will happen. I think it's important to note on this that this is failure on many grounds. First and foremost, I mean, he's not going to present himself as candidate for governor as he will go through a party platform. Political parties in Nigeria should be penalized for fielding candidates that apparently have these types of links. And even at that, it does make sense that some of these allegations are probably likely true, because what you see from these people is they are amassing all of that ill-gotten wealth to do what? To be able to contest for higher office. This is somebody who could not deliver as Attorney General, who now will be asking the people for a mandate to be returned as a governor. What do you expect to happen in that type of a situation? This needs to stop. I think my ploy to Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians, is to have more qualified Nigerians to actually look into getting public office. Because in the absence of good people, what we will end up with are the people who mean nothing, who don't mean well for the country, who are only there to enrich themselves and to do their own bidding.
Thank you very much. Demola. So right now, we are seeing much more names being churned out, terrorist sponsors. Many, many names have been mentioned. But the federal government is just still like water. They're not, to me, we are not seeing that passion for them to go after these people and arrest them. So, do you think the federal government is afraid of something? Are they afraid? Are they afraid of Fulanis?
Um, I don't think the federal government is afraid of Fulani, but one one of the basic reasons before any government can do anything or anybody can put anybody into or charge anybody for anything is to get necessary evidence, and also to be able to ascertain that the prosecution will not validate the activities by the person getting away in the law court. So they don't just prosecute for prosecutor's sake. They have to prosecute to convict that those individuals, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of investigation before such a thing can be arrived, because it's not good that people just mention them and then you prosecute them and the court set them free. But for these things to be, for the federal government and any government to be able to do justice to all these activities, we have identified three things now. One, these corrupt politicians, either politicians, military officers, or individuals, the moment they get into crime and they avert wealth and they are under investigation or being about to be prosecuted, what they do is to go into elective positions that will protect them immunity from being prosecuted for the period of which when they are in those office. It's high time the National Assembly wake up, even though a lot of them are also under this privilege, to ban anybody. INEC should restrict and ban anybody that is under investigation or under court or anything from contesting any election in Nigeria. If you are a suspect, go and clear your name first before you contest for any election. We should not be allowing all these criminals to be in control of government because they are overloaded. It seems they are everywhere in government now. If you have any case to answer in court, if you have any pending criminal case against you, clear yourself first. They should not allow NX should not allow any one of them like that to be able to contest any elective position. And I think this need the support of the National Assembly to amend the Electoral Act so that the INEC will be able to do this.
Thank you also, very much. Thank you very much. Well, let me pause you there. Malami has come out and I think he on his Twitter page, the X page, and said, "Oh, this is all political machinations. It's all politics. I'm not a financier of terror. I didn't steal any money while I was." Do you believe him?
Well, you know what I would really love is if
I think it's Lighton.
It's me. That's what I wanted to say. Yes.
Yeah, it's Lighton's question. Sorry, not your
Yes.
Sorry.
Can you repeat that question again?
Okay, so Malami has come out to say that all these things that are happening is all lies. They are lying against him. When he was Attorney General, he didn't steal any shishi. And that all this terrorism, something that mentioning his name, he's not financing any terrorists. Can there be smoke without fire?
Yeah, thank you for that question. This same Malami, he engrossed himself in series of allegations of corruption and stealing and obstruction of justice. Like they return some money, Abacha loot. Yeah, you presided over that loot. When they accuse this guy, Emefiele, you are the one that went to Buhari that no, Emefiele ran out of the country there. But all these things, a lot of things. They went to London. They said they should release some amount of money meant for the NNPC. Right? He went there to go and collect some amount. He went there and they collected the money. The money they collected, he never put it in the covers of the country. So, Malami, there will not be any smoke without fire. Malami has been consistently doing this. And they even do it with impunity while Buhari was there. Right? So, that is what they've been doing. All what we are saying is, let anybody that they want to put in any position of office, any position you are holding in trust, anybody should be a trustworthy person. They should do a background check. Anybody that has been involved in one that have been involved in any nefarious act, they should not be putting them in anything, right? So my own is Malami is deeply involved, right? Because they committed a lot of atrocities, but because that is what Buhari wanted then. That is why they are doing it for him. They are doing it like all the allies of President Jonathan. They were doing what President Jonathan wanted. The same thing goes for President Tinubu too, right? So everybody, all their allies, they will not go against their Lord. I mean, the man who put them there, right? Their principal. So that is what the Buhari wanted, and they were doing it. And Buhari never questioned that. To the extent, this Alli Keffi, he reported Malami to Buhari. Buhari said, Buhari called Alli Keffi that you should go and make whatever offenses you have with Malami.
Go and settle with him.
Go and settle with him. What is the meaning of that? Right?
Thank you.
You should call them, two of them, listen to what they are saying. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Lighton.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Lighton.
yeah,
We
yeah,
come
yeah.
to the end of this conversation. A big thank you to Mr. Lighton Deliba from America. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being here this evening.
And to also Mr. Ademola Disa, who is from the UK. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you very much. I love being here.
And to Mr. Lalawal, thank you from Canada. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And my name is Yahaya. I'm based in Dublin. We'll see you again in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye.